Okay, happy coding, happy coding. So yesterday, right, what we have done, let me recap. So if you go back to our website, in the users, we working with user, right, we display the single user, means not single user but all users. Then we went to the user details, getting by using id. So let's go to all users page here, that is all users. Then when you click one of the user, let's click on that. So see id one user, right? So this is the information about user one, and here is the each user, right? So I mean we can do some styling here, and then make it separate, right? So if you go back to the app and in the user routes, let's go to the user routes. Where is the user routes? User routes here, right? So here is the, you're getting all the user here, that's the main page, right? The first route, users means all users. So let's say we have the link and you have this user, right? So what we can do is you can just add the paragraph, one paragraph here, right? And do some styling, okay? Here. So busy orange, I think this is all the single user, right? Yeah. So now we need to get to the all user. Now when you click, you're getting all user, right? So where is that? That's here. Okay, so user id, let's go there, right? In this one. So that here you're displaying all the user. So you have basically user information and the user details here, right? So let's see, we have paragraph. Okay, so when you map through that, you're gonna display the link with paragraph. So let's add some class name, and I'm gonna put maybe busy of gray with, let's make it 600. Yeah, and text white, right? Let's make text white. Okay, I will be typing little slow. Okay guys, text white. Yeah, and add some padding also, p, maybe padding, just make it 2, right? 2. So see how it looks. You see something like that, right? So they are touching, every section is touching each other. Every what you call that, the blog, right? We have post, post. Okay, so that is the post. So what we can do, we add some margin bottom, maybe 4, right? Let's see what happened. Okay, so now you got all that post. Okay, post. So even you can display the id, right? You can add the id here, like you displaying the post title, you can say you can just maybe put here post.id. Can we do that and separate with the quotation, something like that? So you got 1 2 3 4 5 like that, right? Okay, so this one is just touching the top section here, so you can bring it down a little bit. So our the link is the one who handling all that, right? And that's the box, the busy white, busy gray 900. That's the big box, right? That's the one. Okay, that is the first box, and this is the second box. So we can bring, why 900? Let's make it a little lighter, so, or maybe let's make it orange around 400. So see, you can see that orange box now, right? That is a big box, but you're not going to see the whole details. So just add some padding of 4 and you're going to see that. Now see, so that's our post, all the post for this user, right? User 1, all the post. Okay, now once I click one of these, let's say I click 5, right? Post 5. Now I'm sent to this route now, post details page. Okay, for the id 5. So let's see where is our post details, right? So in the link we have users, user id and post id. Okay, and so we have to go back. So user id, and after user id we have dynamic page again, post ID, right? See that dynamic page here. So inside we got this post, and we accessing, right? Sorry, inside this is the page. Okay, so we already getting this page now. When you click one of these posts, right, you getting this page. Fine. So how you gonna see this params, right? All these numbers are in, you get in the params. Okay, the numbers here is whatever, like the dynamic link, right? ID will be params. So let's do that one. We just simply handle here, right? Params. I mean, we're gonna learn about all this in when we build the API, right? But here we just have the link. There is the data, right? We're just trying to fetch and display. Okay, but we're gonna, I think we're gonna, it will be more better to talk about all this, try to understand in the API. Okay, so what we're gonna do is in our API, right, we will be doing building the links. All these links we will be building, right? All these things will be, we're gonna have an API basically like this. So if you want to get the post with 5 and user 1, you're gonna have API, right? And you will be passing the data there like 1/5 like that, and that API will do the job, right? So, and it will go to the database and get all the information from there. Okay, so we will, slowly when we move, right, we will understand all that. Okay, what is here? Okay, so now, so let's check, let's try to check our, sorry guys, let's go back and so we got the params, right? Let's see what we're getting back. When this page opens, you have something in the parameter. Okay, and that params will give us that, this will returns what, this returns object. You remember that, right? So let's call it maybe ID. Okay, ID, right, equal to params, and let's console log this ID, right? Console.log. I mean, we still have just console log params directly. I mean, same thing. If you console log ID equal to params or directly params is same thing. Okay, so let's check what we have in the params, right? Let's check. So see, this page is what? This page is server side render page. We don't have any dynamic client yet. So let's check here now. So we get now, right? So I think we're displaying something from somewhere, all this console log. Oh, I need to maybe remove some console log. I don't know, where is that? Oh, post, right? Okay, I don't need this one. Let's remove that. So it was from yesterday. So now go back here and console log params, right? Params. So now in the params, okay, so now let's check. I mean, we fetch so much data, right? So we have to go to the bottom. See what you get now. Just look at here. This is our data. User ID is 1 and post ID is 5. The important point is this is object. The params you get is object always. Okay, so this object, right? So if I say let's go back here, right? And if I just want to get post ID for now, right? So I'll say dot post ID. See, so this is a post ID what I get here, and that will be stored in this variable ID now, right? Fine, I got the post ID. I will close this now. I don't need, right? Console log. Okay, so next step is, once you have ID, right? Once you have ID, for example, let's go back here, and so this is the post, right? This is the post, and I think that was the ID 5, this one. Okay, 5, right, for example. Okay, so you just need to pass ID here, and you're gonna get that post. See, so you just need to use this route now, right? Simple enough. So yeah, so now we have already here the post, right? If you go to the post, go to the here, and we are downloading post here somewhere. Post, right? This one. So what I will do, I'll just copy this whole thing. Okay, this function. The getting fetching data is same. There is no different, right? So place that function here. Okay, I will explain now, guys. Let's do this. So get user post, so just call it get post, right? Get post, because we're just getting single post now. So here will be post id, or you can just call it id, whatever you want. So let's call it, we have to bring the post id, right? This is parameter, okay, simple function parameter, nothing else. So we have to pass that same post id here also, post id. Okay, so here you see that question mark, right? This is the query string. Okay, when you have question mark, that is query string. So we don't need to use that one. Okay, we just need up to post, and you have to back forward slash, right? So post slash id, for example 5. So that is our API link now. Clear? So everything will be fine. You're just gonna get the data, right? It will just return you the data. So now after you have this id, below that one we say const post equal to get post, right? And you pass that id, whichever id is here, you pass that. Okay, one thing, we have to make this function asynchronous now, async. Okay, and you can use here async. Clear? Oh sorry, oh wait, right, not, oh wait until get data. Fine. So we got the post. You want to console log and check, so to do that, see what we get in the post, right? Post. Okay, so go back to our code here. Oh, I want to bring this up. No, not that one. Where is terminal? No, I have to run terminal again. It's just hiding somewhere. So now let's say we had one in the browser already, right? We have one, I think 5, id 5. See that? So we got that post here. So this is just the post, is single post, and that will give you now you can display, you can just display the maybe id, title, body, right? So let's display that one. So that's just a few information. So, and that is in the post, right? This is just a simple object. Okay, so I will remove this console log and go back to our return JSX now, right? So I say h1 post details, right, colon, and I'll just put here, right, user id, and then I say post dot user id. So that will give us user id, right? Let's make it colon here. Okay, user id equal user id is something like that, and then after, right, so I'm gonna have maybe h2. So I will just put here a title, correct? Title equal to post dot title, and then you're gonna have description, right? So paragraph, let's call it post, or no need, right? Just let's see what is here. A body. Okay, so we call it post body here now, post dot body. Done. I mean, you can limit this box, right? Make it a little small box. So class name, we can say max width will be how much? Let's make it 4xl or 2xl. Okay, and have bg maybe purple 600, and text will be white. Text, right? Text will be white. Okay, and let's add some padding, right? So p will be 2, and you want to have border radius maybe 2. So you want to give, okay, that's it, no need, right? Fine, that will be enough. Okay guys, so let's check now. Go to our site here. Okay, so that is purple, just same like the top one, right? Why can we make it different? let's say, I mean, there is something called blue, make it 400 and text white. So we're gonna skip margin top, right, of 20 or maybe 5. Yeah, okay. So you see, you get the post one, right, user ID one and the title and the description. So you go to the user, let's say Glenn, right, and you want his last post, and see, user ID is 9, and that is the post right here, title and description. Okay, so that was the some basic, right, things about the how we can fetch data. It's all about fetching data, right, and creating different page. So for last 2-3 days, okay, you guys watching me, right, doing these things. Now I know you guys get confused. Maybe some of you are tracking, but some of you get confused and mixed up everything. I say, oh my god, what is all this, right? That is okay. Okay, don't worry. So what I'm gonna do now, right, I just want to close all this now. I want to give you the fresh mind, right? So let's do that. So file, open folder, and I just open this main project folder. So for now I will close that. Okay, so what we're gonna do is so let's call it next API, right? API. We just gonna install a little bit talk about API. That's it. Not too much today. I have to switch my hand card. So now, what is the here? Go back and try to start the nextjs project. So installation is our first work. I'm gonna, Next.js is a React framework for building full stack web application. You use React component to build the user interface. So React was to building user interface. Next.js for additional feature. Okay, the Next.js give us additional feature and optimization. Under the hood, Next.js also abstract automatically configure tooling needed for the React, like bundling, compiling, and more. I mean, there are so many things Next.js is doing for us. We just need to learn how to create the routes. So that is, you create route in the Next.js by just adding the folder. If you have about page, you put about route, contact folder, product folder, like that. So that is all about routing, right? So let's copy this. So we're going to install the new project. So that is Next.js. Okay, so I need to, because we are installing in the Next API, right? So cd next dash API. Okay, so then I'm going to install here. Okay, so create next app at the latest, right? So even when you guys start the project, you just create one folder, right? Let's say my portfolio, open that in your Visual Studio, then you go, copy this, just type or copy, right, this, and then dot /. You must make sure you select your project name here and then enter, right? So and then it's gonna ask you bunch of question. So let's see how we answer that, right? So would you like to use TypeScript? For now, no, right? You don't want, so yeah, no. Will you like to use ESLint? You can put it yes, fine. That will not hurt us. Will you like Tailwind? Yes. Source directory? No, I don't need. App route? Yes, because all our routing now, like in all the pages you're gonna create, right? About page, contact page, whatever the blogs and all that, right? So will be the route. So yes, I need that. Would you like to customize the default import alias? No, there is @ right? Just use that one. Means when you import, remember before we used to do // find the folder and all that. Now @ will give you direct the home page, okay, like main folder, right? And from there you find whatever folder you need to go. So I will show you how you do import, right? So I don't need to change, default is okay, right? So no, leave it no there, default is fine. and done. Okay, so it will just install the project. So that's how you just install the create the project folder, I mean install the nextjs, and start working on the, step by step. First watch header section or navbar, right? Finish that one, make notes, understand, and then you write a code. Okay, complete one section, then move to the next section. That's how you're gonna finish the project, right? Because some, we have like, we act like we know everything, then we start doing so many things, and then we do wrong mistake here, there, all the places, right? And then it will just make you bored. Okay, I mean you're not gonna enjoy, right? But if you complete piece by piece and then move forward, you will enjoy it. Okay, even it takes like 2-3 days, it's okay, but you just have to work piece by piece. Okay guys, so now let's go back here. So we got this. Let's see if this is working. So I will say npm run development, right? Dev, and I will go live now. So I'll just click here. I'm gonna close this now. I don't need this, and I will close this API we don't need. Okay, so in this one, right, let's see, where is the routing? In the routing section, I think route handler, right? Here is the route handler. So route handler, what is route handler, right? Route handler allow you to create custom request handler for a given route using web request and response. Web request, so the web page, right, website or browser already have the request and response functionality, API something, right? I mean before, when you do the what we used to do, right, in our in our express, in the server express it came with, right, you have when you make some like get request, you have in your function, you add in your controller function, you add request and response. Remember that? Yeah, so same thing. So in nextjs has, you know what nextjs did, right, take the same express or maybe node.js request response functionality to handle http method. Okay, and it added more improvement, I mean it just improve it, right, make it better. Okay, so that's why we will see how it work, how we can use that. So it says, what is saying, right, in your app, okay, in your app directory, you create the folder called API, and then you add the file route.js, right, route.js. So this, the route will be, you can have post or any, now you can have any method, right, any method here, post or get, put, delete, all that. Okay, I think there is head and what else, head and I think one more something. So API, and you're gonna see, you cannot put route inside the another page. Okay, let's say you have contact page, right, and there will be page.js and route.js. You cannot do that. Okay, that means you are mixing the same route for two different things. So it says separate your concern, right, separate your logic. If there is API building, you must make sure you put in the API, and the file name will be route. Simple. API file name is route, that's it. And we will look at that. So now I will change this to JavaScript. So route handler are defined in route.js. See that, route.js, right? So you can have route.js, and you can add all this request, get, post, and all that. So HTTP method now are supposed to get, post, put, patch, delete. Oh, there is head and option, right? Okay, so these are the two, head and option. So I think head will give you something, option will give you something I never used yet. We know the get, post, right, put also we know, and delete we know. Okay, so put is for update and delete is for deleting. Post means if you have form any data to send to the server, right, post. If you need to get, you're gonna use get, right? Okay, so if an unsupported method is called, out beside this one, right? Beside all these things, if you call anything, you're gonna get error 404. What is the error? 405, right? Not allowed, right? So that means that method is not allowed beside this one. Okay, all right. So now I have my hand is hurting, so let me, I think it's too much tight, and I'll just try to loosen this little bit. Okay, so now okay, so now next one, extended request and response. See the extended, right? In addition to supporting native request and response. Native means what Node.js already have. Means Node.js have request and response function, right, built in. So, or maybe request and response object there, so it has some functionality built inside. But nextjs, what nextjs has done, right, extend them, means make them improvement, right, make improve to that request and response functionality. And so that's why they name it different, right? Next request and next response, that's it. Next request, so request, next request means if you need to get something from somewhere, like request, right, like form data or something, you getting to the server. Now you sending the response means you sending back the message, right? The rest dot, remember we used to do response dot json and then send something, return something, so that is next response. So you have to be capital next with R capital and all that, so same name you have to write, right? Fine, so let's see, let's go back. So okay, so I mean there is this API from MongoDB, all that, so let's not worry about that. Return, see that next response.json, right? So what we can do now, right, we just look at the, I mean I think we can just look at get and post, at least get and post two method, and how you can handle the data, right, how it work. Okay, let's look at that simple concept, and then next week we're gonna build the our MongoDB, and maybe we do some small project based on this concept. So let's go back. In our next API, so what I will do, I'm gonna clean this up for the app and in the layout, right? So I don't need, no, this is okay. So global CSS, I'm gonna clean this up, and in the page I'm gonna clean the whole thing here. I mean, I can delete all, right, and just write react arrow function create export like that. And this is home page, right? So home, simple enough. So now if you go to the browser, you will see this home page. Okay, that's the home page after cleanup, right? Okay, so now so yeah, so what we'll do now here, next API, that is what in the app, what it says, right, create the folder called API, correct? API. And if I go here now, right, so in the API, make sure it will be always, the file name will be route dot, this is JavaScript, so you put JS, right? If you type script, I think TS, yeah, like that. Okay, so we're gonna look at TypeScript also. Maybe let's finish this whole project, and then we're gonna spend maybe a couple of 2-3 days learning TypeScript. So yeah, route.js, right? So right now I don't have any route. Okay, I don't have any route, right? So let's get something here. So yeah, I think I'll just copy this, okay, and clean up, right? So response, I'm going to need next response because I'm going to send some information, okay, some data, right? I'm using the get method, I'm getting something. So here right now I don't need to deal with all these things. Okay, I don't need to deal, right? I don't have anything here. So I'm just my get route, right? I'm just returning the response, next response.json, and here I will pass the message, right? Message. I'll just put something here, like call it get route, get route, right? So look at here now, this route, right? How it will be built. So why is this error? Import next babel. Okay, I think that is okay. So this will be, see how this route work now, right? So it's gonna be http colon, right, slash slash localhost, correct, and 3000. So that is our root route. This is the root route, right? So when you do the root route, that means you are here in the app means app is the root, right? And from there you go to the API folder. That's it. So that should give you the, because this there is no more subfolder, right? Like for example, let's say blog, let's call it blogs, right? Blogs. So you don't have the blogs folder right now here. So you are directly, this is directly in the API. So that's it. So it should give you the whatever we pass here, right? That should be returned to us. Get, that is get. This is a get route. So let's go to the browser and check, right? Directly in the browser, let's check. I mean, get can be done in the browser also, right? So enter and see what I'm getting back. Voila, see that? So get route, it's working, see that? So this is 3000/API. Okay, so how, let's say you have blog now, right? You have blog, and in the blog page, you need to fetch all the blog from the database, okay? So here you need a route for that, because you cannot go directly, right, and get the data from the database. You're gonna have to make the connection to the database with the MongoDB connection. First you need to create a file to connect, then you need the model, right? That is two there, connection and model. Next you're gonna need the route, like what you want to do, get, post, put, delete. So let's do one thing, route.js, right? So here same thing, if I will copy this route, right, and go back to inside the blog, and I'm just put here maybe blog colon will be something like that, right? And you get all the blog here. Okay, let's say id equal to 1 and title is something like a blog title, and details, right? Or let's call it body of the blog. Okay, so you're gonna have blog body. So now you're getting all the blocks, right? This, let's call it blocks. Okay, you want to get all the blocks. So basically here you're gonna connect to your database. You're gonna import the connection file. You just call the function, it will connect, it will it will just go to the, I mean here you have to fetch now, right? So when you connect, you're gonna call your model, like model. You're also gonna have model.find, and it will find it, the function will be async, await, and all that things, and then you're gonna get the blog, and you just return the response, right? You just put the blog here. So what gonna happen when you're getting data from the database. Okay, fine. So for example, I have the data already. I just make this data hard coded data, and I just put here, right? I just want to see if this work or not, right? So let's try now. So here API slash, I just call the blogs, my blogs route. Okay, and see, this blocks has the array, and you get that data, right? So the blocks has the array, and here is the first data. So when you fetch data from the blocks, you're gonna have maybe hundreds of blocks here, right, with object like this. So that's the simple route. See, we just build the route for the blocks. Okay, so that is the get route, right? Okay, so that is the get route. So we only gonna do get and post today. So okay, let's go back here now, right? I just show you the how the route is built. We're not gonna do anything in the blog right now, but here, okay, so let's use something, right? I think we can use postman, or maybe man, I forgot what was that. I don't know, I found something right to use here in the extension. Okay, I think I put in my, let me check right here quickly. I don't remember the name, what was that name? And 1 second, guys. So I want to show you something we can use in the browser, right? Not browser, in the yeah, I think I can just open this because I did some practice today, a little bit of this. And when you look at one time, you're not gonna remember. Okay, so you have to do it many times, right? GitHub, where is GitHub? GitHub here, and then money stack. Next, maybe this one. Yeah, so this file, right, rest.stp. So there is something extension, called rest. You have to install that, right? Rest API. Let's say rest API, rest client. Okay, so this is what I have installed, right? Rest client, okay. And once you install this rest client, what's gonna happen, right? You have to, I'll show you now how to use that. I closed the wrong one. Okay, sorry guys. So open the folder again with our next API, correct? I mean, okay, we were running all the things here. We had everything here, right, earlier also. So that means it's my fault how I navigate all these things. Okay, so let's go back and start npm run dev. So you have to install this. Okay, if you want to try this one, you can install, right? REST API. Just go to the extension and REST client, install that one. Just search REST client and you're gonna get that and install, and see how we're gonna use that. I will show you now. So in the main project folder here, right, we have to create the file called rest.stp, like that. Okay, now here you're gonna call get request, right? Get, and then http colon, you just put the path now, right? / localhost. So let's say basic API, right? See, so you're gonna get request now. See that request? So if you call this request, now what you get here? So sorry guys, so you see that message, we get this get route. You just look at here, we get we just get the information from this route. Okay, that working. So now if you want to add the next route, you have to add 3 hash here. Okay, so for example, let's say get, and then http slash localhost, maybe API slash blocks, right? Blocks, for example. What is this? No, I don't want that. Why this keep popping up, Okay, so now, okay, so because I'm just entering, right? So now click on the request again and see what we get. See, so we got the blog now, right? We have this route build. Okay, fine. So let's do the post route, right? How we gonna do the post route? So simply first you separate for adding the next route. You call the post method, and then you call that, I think we just copy this. We're gonna do here, right? So just copy this. Okay, so you are in the post route. So we have to add the header right here. So how are we gonna do that? Let's see. I think the header, right? We have to define the header first. Let's how are we going to define that? Okay, let's pass the data right here. So I will just pass, let's say, you have to pass the JSON file. For example, when you post, right, what you're going to get in the API will be used to send the data to the backend. Okay, right? You're going to call this a post API in your front end. You fill out the form, you send some data here. So let's add that data, right? So that will be, call it name, right, like this, colon maybe Dave. Okay, Robert, and age, right, will be 40. So what is the error here? Maybe single quote. Yeah. So this is the post request, and when you send this, right, it will see what error we get now. See, header must be valid HTTP token, right? Header, we don't have header here, so let's define header. So I think application content type, right? I believe content type, not header but content type. Application JSON. Okay, yeah, I think that will be fine now. So let's send the request. So send request. So this basically, I believe this saying header name must be a valid HTTP token, right? Header name must be a valid HTTP token. Okay, so we don't have the yet we don't have build, right, anything in our app. In our route we don't have anything, so let's go back here and build something. So go back here. So we're gonna work with the post now, right? Post. Okay, so same thing, just call. Now we did the get one, we just the post, right? So here you call the request, right? You request. Okay, request, that's it. You just call this object, right? And const, see if we can get data from body or not, right? So const body equal to await, and you have to do request dot JSON. Now no more body, right? JSON, that's it. And it should give us a whole whatever you send from here, right? So this is the front. Just imagine from the front in form you sending this data, this object, okay? And let's see if we're getting back in our route or not, right? Because the route job is what? Get the data from the body, okay, and then send to the server, save to the database. That's what we do, right? But here we just want to see if we're getting something or not. So now in the JSON format, I will delete this, right? I just gonna return the body, okay, body, and let's run this. So now we're gonna test here. So send request. Okay, so it's giving some error, right? What might be? Enter. Now, yeah. So after this, this things is like crazy, right? You have to make sure we follow the rule, so make sure you have this space also here. So you see that we just received the data now, right? The response is there. Whatever data you send from the form to this API, right, this route, you got that one, okay? So this data is coming where? Remember this route now. Maybe it looks confusing, but remember this post route is getting the data directly here now. See that? And that is what we are displaying right now. But in our real world example, right, what we're going to do, we're going to get data from the form, and we will save that to the, we'll send that to the MongoDB database. But we have the data, we have the data. See that? That is important, right? Okay, what else we can practice right here? Okay, what else? Let's see. So if we have blog, right, we learn how to get information from the blog. Okay, now what we can do now, right? Let's see. I think I want to talk about okay, so let's look at this first one right here. Let's say you have API and you want to have some search params, right? How you gonna handle that? Like for example, search params will be and here, right? And maybe you passing, let's say name equal to whatever you pass, right? Maybe robot, okay, and you're gonna have maybe age, right, equal to 40, okay. So let's say in your API, API, you just have this search params, you passing some information, right? So how are we going to read this in our route? Basically in our route, how are you going to read, right? So that's the point, okay, that's the question. So just give me a second, guys. So how are we going to read that? Get let's see, API, right? Okay, so we have this robot name equal to robot. Even we don't have to put, I think we don't put a string here, right? We just pass the information like this. It just go like that, without anything. So that is the source. We call it query string, right? That is a query string you pass to your basically in your URL, right? URI, because you want to find something from the database, right? And you send that one. But to find something with this matching to this name and age, you have to read this. How you going to read this, right? In your function, in your route, you have to get this information from the browser link. So how we get that? That is the question, right? So okay, so see, we are in the localhost API route, right? So that is here. Oh, not that one, sorry guys. Where is the API? In the blog here. So let's go back and check now. So so we have the request, right? Here you can pass the request again, same thing, right? Request, okay? Here you can pass the request. So const name, right, equal to, say, request dot I think request dot params, what was that, request dot next URL, right? I believe, yeah, next URL dot search. It's not giving suggestion, I don't know why. SEARCH, search params, okay? Params, right? Search params, and from there you're gonna get, right? Get, and what you want to get now? Name, right? Name, okay? Name. And same thing you can do for the age also, right? Because the only thing is, if you have something in the search params, right, query string, and you want to read that, you need to read that information to your function here in any method, right? So that you can use now either to search in the database, because you have to pass that information to the database somewhere. So right now we're just looking how to read from the browser, okay? That is the point here, right? So this will be age. We are looking for age, right? Let's change this variable to age also, okay? So we got name and age, right? Let's see if that is working or not. We can basically pass here, you know. Let's pass, right? Name comma age. So yeah, let's see what we get. So now go to our HTTP request, and that was the first one, right? Yeah, here we pass that name and age here. So when you send the request, and see, so we got that object, okay, with the name and age here. So we learn how to read this name and age, right? And now you have this information, and you can, you know, we can handle that, basically this get function, because if you just want to find the data for this person robot, okay, and whose age is 40, right? Now you have the information, you write the more function there, you call your model, and then you know, just find by name or find by age or whatever, right? And you can pass there, and you get that information from the database. So we learn how to do the search params also, okay guys? Okay, so what will be the next one now, right? The next, yeah, I think this about the slog now, right? Okay, so now we have the blog right here. If you need to just get, if you just need to get all the blocks, here, close that. Let's say you just need to get all the blocks, right? Then you can write the route here, correct? Here, this is what you are doing, right? We're getting all the blocks here. So you know, that work. The thing is, now you want to get the individual block, you know, like the blocks slash, right? For example, the route will be http colon slash slash localhost colon how much, 3000, right? 3000 slash and API, okay, you're going to API slash blocks, right? Blocks, and then slash, so in the blog, right, API slash blocks, so this will give you all the blog, okay? And then you want to go to the blog, right, with slog. Maybe slog is what, the ID, okay? Slog means basically ID, right? ID, okay? So that is one situation, right? Individual blog. So for to make a route for that one, the same concept like a page, okay? Here you're going to create a folder, right? Call it maybe slog or ID, whatever. So let's call it slog, and inside you're going to write a route now. So will be route.js, and here you create a route, right? So let's say Okay, so here will be route, right? So let's copy one of the route from here, maybe get request. Okay, so the next response will be okay, right? You're going to send some information back. I will delete all this, we don't gonna need. So search for the slug, what we have to do, right? I think there is a request and there will be params, I believe. We just for the ID, remember we're doing also params, right? Even in our last project, yeah, params will be there. So let's console log, right? For now let's console dot log params. Okay, params. We're gonna check now, just now, right? Just give me a second. Here I will, for now I'll just pass empty object. Right now we don't have anything. All right, so I just wrote the get request in this slug, right? Slug here. So to test this, right, go back to our I will close this now, go back to the HTTP REST HTTP, right? And let's add one of the route now. So I'll just add here, right? So I have to do the 3 hash, and I will say get method, right? And HTTP colon / localhost, right, colon 3000, okay, /API/blog. Okay, now you want to pass the slug, like let's say blog number 10 I want to get, or maybe my blog, whatever name you can give, right? So blog / and whatever is the ID here. So this is a slug. Okay, so let's send this request and see what we get, right? I just want to call this API route, send the request. Okay, so we get some error, something error. What is that error? So there is something wrong, right? API/blogs. Oh, sorry guys, it's the blogs. The route was mistake. Okay, blogs, right? And then /10. The ID is 10. Okay, now send again. Okay, so right now I get empty object, right? But look at the in the terminal here. What I get now, slug is 10. Look at that, because I console log the slug right there. I console log the params, this params is the slug. So you get that. So now you can display. So I mean you can just break down, right? We know how to get that. So const ID, or you can call it slug, right? Slug equal to params dot, and the name will be same here. What is this now? Slug, right? So you just call the slug. Okay, and you pass the slug here as an object. So slug, and that is whatever the data here, slug, slug, right? Yeah, so let's see what we get now again. So let's send the request. There is 10 in your data, right? So let's call it post 10. Okay, you can pass anything now, that will be the slug. And see, the slug is post 10. See that? So now once you have this ID, with this ID you can fetch that particular post, Okay, so that is one thing now, right? Now what if let's say if, right, we have if we're gonna have now, right, next so now okay, let's make a situation, right? So you guys have seen the comment blog, right? Let's open one of the blog. Okay, blog, right? Blog, just blogger.com, whatever blog now, right? So this is saying create your blog. I don't want to create my blog. Okay, so anything, how to start blogging in your, so anyone you guys want to start blogging, start creating blogs and then start posting online like this. right? So let's say in the blog here, right, this is all about creating blogs, you know, this story, right? I don't want to that story. What I want is, so look at here, right? See what you see, this, see that reply to this message, maybe reply, or maybe there will be some comment, right, in the blog here. So you know here, okay, this is the comment, okay. So you want to add, oh, this is nice blog, right, and then you put your name, whatever information, and then post the blog, okay, post the comment, okay. So we just learn how to get the single blog, correct? Because the slug here will give you this single blog. Now I need comment to add to this single blog. How am I going to do that? I need to handle the, you know, the API for comment, right? So I will just create one folder called comment here, comments, right, like that. Is that okay? Comments or comments, maybe, yeah, because there will be many, for each blog there will be many comments, right? And comments, and if there is single comment also, you can have many comments, right? So how you going to handle single comments? So same thing again, you know, with the ID, right? So will be, let's call it comment ID this time, okay. So if you need to handle lot of comments, I mean, that there will be route for that one, right? Route.js for all your comment, but for single comment you're gonna have again route.js. See, so if you need to get all the comments, how you gonna do that? So maybe I just copy this same thing and close this, and let's get back to our comment now. So comment, right, that will be here, okay, and paste. So how you gonna create a route for this, right? How you gonna create route? So something like this, you know. So will be http colon slash localhost colon 3000, right, slash, let's say localhost 3000 slash, and then we have API, correct? API. Guys, if someone has difficult understanding this concept, it's okay. I mean, you know, I'm just showing you something, but I will explain this when we start one simple, we're going to work with the project, and I will explain again, okay. But just remember, I'm just showing things what we're going to do in the future, right? And if someone understand this, very nice. If not, still no need to worry. Once you build projects, you will be, you know, you will understand, right? So let's say localhost 3000 API is my root route, right? And then from there I will go to the blogs, correct? And after that I have slug, right? Slug. And then after that I have comments, correct? And then again I have the comment ID, right? You can give any name here, you know. So that's the route here. So let's say I want to get something from here, you know. So I will just build again get request and put that route, right? So http localhost 3000 slash API slash blog slash slug. So here will be, let's say, post 10, right? Post, just add anything, post 10, and then after comments slash comment ID, right? So comment ID maybe, let's say 20, right? 20. This is the route, okay. So in here is same thing, okay. This params, look at this params, right? So for now what I will do, I'm just gonna console log this params, or maybe just return the params, right? Just return the params and see what we are getting back. So let's check the params, right? This params will give us something. So see, this code is written in the inner part of this slug. Okay, the comment id route here, that is the one I'm calling now. And the way the route is built, if you look at here now, right, API blocks slash slugs. Inside the slug, the the blog post, right here. Inside that one we have comments, and inside the comment we have this single comment again. So see if this work, and we should get that params, right, whatever the params. So request. So there is error, we get not 4 or 5 not allowed, right? So what is the tree state? Something wrong with now, maybe this example. Localhost 3000. So how are we going to get that? Yeah, so it should work, right? Because when I call that, it should give us the, it should, okay, let's look at the return. We are returning so async function get request, and then that is the params, right? So we should get that params, rendered through our file here, right? So it did not work. Okay, so let's see why save this and try again one time. Let me check, right, if the route is okay, so the get http / localhost 3000 /API /blogs /post /comments, right? Comments. So now inside the slug, we got this comment COMMENTS, okay, and inside that one I have this comment ID, right? Okay, and in that route, oh, I written in the wrong place, guys. Oh my god. Okay, so I think I wrote here, right? Yeah, that's not good. So let's copy this and put it here. Inside here in comment ID, I'm looking for comment ID, right? So now I can close that. So let's try again. Yeah, so see, so you get that comment ID, right, 20, and also you get that which post that belongs to 10 post. Okay, so you can even fetch all the comment, right, by writing the code inside this route here. Right now, let's say we can call this like all comments. Let's call this, right, the data will be comments, and will be, here will be, just pass the string, right, all comments, like that. Okay, so save this, and but we don't have route for this one, right? So comment ID, blog slug comment ID. Okay, let's take this one. So now we have to go HTTP. Where is our HTTP? Here. So I'll just make the new request. So you have to separate with 3 hash, and then get, right, get, and then look at this one. So API blocks /logs /comment, right? You're just getting the no comment ID, but only up to comment. Okay, and send request, and see, you get all the comment. That link will give you all the comment. Okay, so we did some nested API also now, right? Similarly, there in the future you will be building some complex, I mean, I think up to here you're gonna get, right? Normally in the real world, what you see, right, you're gonna have the users, then things related to the users, then you have blocks, and things related to the blocks like comment, some other information, likes button, all that, right? Dislike and all that kind of things, all that built through the API. Okay, handled through API. It's okay, we will do the projects and we'll understand. I mean, even you can get cookies and headers and all that, right, through the request. Okay, so we will leave it up to here. I think that's okay. And if you guys have any question, just let me know now, right? I mean, it's difficult to understand everything, okay, but once we start applying this as a along with the projects, we're gonna do simple projects next week, and again start all this API from scratch, zero, right? We build the database in the MongoDB Atlas, we make connections, we're gonna create the models, then we're gonna build API, then you have the front end part, creating the page and make a connections, maybe making HTML forms, sending some data, then you displaying data, deleting, updating, all that things. Okay, so that's how things work. Same thing you did with the last two project in your money stack, same concept, but here everything happens in the same place. So okay guys, just enjoy your work, don't take too much stress, just decide what you want to do, right? Make a notes and work on that. Okay, either you want to work on portfolio or just want to go through this what you just learned now, you want to do revisions, manage your time. Okay, give the priority, right? What is important, finish that part, move to the next one again. So I will stop here now.